come to school with a black eye, and I'd have bruise marks on my neck or my shoulders and arms.
I've experienced violence throughout my mom's boyfriends. I told someone in between times, but no one really listened, and I didn't trust them enough to tell them all the way through.
The last event was March 15th when he actually attempted to strangle and kill me.
He put me down and threatened me, and I wouldn't let me go anywhere without him.
He tried to pressure me into having sex, and I wasn't ready to have sex. He raped me.
We have a very serious problem of victimization of teenagers in America. Very few people understand the level of violence that teens experience. They don't understand that teens experience the full range of crimes that adults experience.
When I was littler, I got abused by a guy because he was like near my dad's age. It was funny, it was at church, and it went on for about a year, and I just couldn't tell anyone.
Sometimes during class, I just go outside and cry and wonder why nobody didn't want to help me.
Teenagers need many of the same things, many of the same resources and services that adult victims of crime need. They need support, they need safety planning, they need individual and group counseling, they need advocacy for those who go through the criminal justice process, they need compensation, they need orders of protection. The full range of services and resources that we've made available to adults need to be adapted and need to be made accessible to teenage victims of crime.
Just 13 months ago, we had an incident that occurred here at Reagan High School where a young man murdered his girlfriend.
The fatal stabbing took the life of 15-year-old Ortrea Mosley.
The kind of violence that took place here Friday afternoon may happen a lot more often than you think. Domestic violence counselors say 1 out of every 5 teenage girls has been a victim of abuse in a dating relationship.
All crime is local, even crimes against teenagers. It's local. And so when a community decides that it wants to tackle this problem, the first step really is to find out what the very specific issues are in your community. Then you'll be sure to find the right partners and mobilize your community in the most appropriate way.
The district, the staff, the community, everyone involved were very supportive in making sure that we got a program started here, because we had to address an issue that, in my opinion, exists at every campus. One of the things we did was reach out into the community and talk to the SafePlace program that was already set up here in Austin to help kids feel at ease and be able to talk about these issues.
We have a team of 5 school-based counselors that work in the elementary, middle, and high schools here in Austin, and together they see about 350 kids a year. Currently we have support groups for girls and for boys in 16 of our local middle and high schools. We meet weekly for 24 sessions, and the groups are confidential.
Oftentimes that group member, before he's met me, has talked to the counsellor or the teacher about a personal experience or two. Sometimes it's based purely on what the counsellor or teacher has seen in terms of behaviour. Has that student acted violently? Have they suggested that maybe they've been hurt or abused? Maybe they've even seen physical signs like a bruise or something like that.
They only are able to feel safe at school, some of these kids, and the ones that I've seen that have not had help in the earlier years have gone on to do a lot of behaviors such as self-mutilation, eating disorders, substance abuse. A lot of them are failing their classes, considering dropping out, and they're not connecting that with their traumatic experience and not being able to express their emotions around that.
Transition from childhood to adulthood, it's very complicated. When it's interrupted by a particularly traumatic event, sometimes it can be interrupted or halted permanently, and teens suffer as a result, sometimes for the rest of their lives.
It just takes a toll on everything. You're worried about this, so you're not concentrating on your work, or you're not doing something right, or you don't perform well athletically because of it.
I lost all my friends. I completely lost who I was. I had no personality. I had nothing because he cut me down and destroyed my self-esteem.
It just like made me angry all the time. I never really had a smile, or I was never happy, so I was just always mad and violent.
We have to go where teens are, we have to speak their language, and we have to help them in ways that they want to be served.
I didn't know how to tell them, you know. I don't talk to my parents. I'm not open with my parents. We don't have a good communication thing going on.
I started to blame myself, and for actually 3 years or so, I had been cutting because I didn't know how else to deal with it, because I can't deal with anything at home because my parents, they just don't understand or listen some of the times, and they didn't even notice when I cut. And I used to have these huge gashes all over my arms.
Children will be better off if their parents help them get help. But for those students where it will be unsafe for them to even let the parent know that there's a service available at school, we want them to have the choice.
Teens can be a tremendous resource. They're often overlooked. They can help each other, talk to each other, reach out to each other far more effectively often than adults. We need to work with them and support them in doing this.
STAR is a teen peer leadership group designed to educate teens, students regarding teen dating abuse.